Imagine a sector of the galaxy where a single massive entity controls everything. With zero competition, this lone supplier can charge astronomical prices and deliver terrible product quality, and the buyers have absolutely no alternative. Now, look at the outer rim, a bustling, chaotic trading zone. This is a competitive frontier. Here, a small-time entrepreneur can arrive looking to make a healthy profit, but they have to navigate a completely different set of economic rules. This exact contrast is what Cambridge examiners expect you to make. The grading rubric explicitly requires you to state that a competitive market contains a large number of firms, while a monopoly is defined by having only one. Replacing a solitary ruler with thousands of identical sellers flips the power dynamic. The pricing power transfers directly away from the corporations and into the hands of the market itself. To survive out here, our entrepreneur has to operate under 4 strict conditions. First, there is an incredibly high number of buyers and sellers. Second, the products are perfectly homogeneous. Every single stall in this market sells the exact same cube of water. The third rule is low barriers to entry and exit. There are no expensive licenses, heavy regulations, or massive startup costs keeping new traders out. If a seller is taking a loss, they can pack up their ship and leave without penalty. Fourth, there is perfect information. Every consumer instantly knows exactly what every single seller across the galaxy is currently charging. Watch what happens if our seller tries to maximize his margin by raising his price by just a fraction of a cent. The buyers instantly walk away. They know they can get the identical product next door for the market rate. Armed with perfect information and endless identical alternatives, the crowd strips the individual seller of any ability to dictate their own terms. This macro market diagram shows how those rules look on paper. The downward sloping demand curve represents millions of consumers, intersecting with the upward sloping supply curve of all the sellers. The vertical axis measures price, and the horizontal axis measures total market quantity. Where the massive forces of total supply and total demand collide, they lock in an unchangeable equilibrium point. This creates the exact market price. If we follow that locked-in price over to the individual firm's perspective, the axes remain price and output, but we are looking at a microscopic scale. That dashed line from the macro market projects straight across to the micrograph. For the individual seller, their demand curve is completely flat. They can sell all the output they produce, but only at the specific predetermined price. The sheer mathematical weight of the total market dictates reality for the tiny business. They are forced to accept that flat line, mathematically stripping away their agency. This dynamic turns the business into a price taker. If they push their price even a single penny above that flat line, their total sales drop to absolute zero. A common mistake on exams is suggesting a small firm should lower its price to win more market share. Look at the geometry. They can already sell their entire inventory at the current market price. Dropping the price below that line would needlessly throw away revenue for no gain. Trapped inside this structure, our entrepreneur has one actual decision to make: deciding exactly how much output to produce to keep costs under control. The strict geometry of perfect competition forces businesses into total submission. It removes complex pricing strategies entirely, leaving operational efficiency as their only tool for survival. Currently, our entrepreneur is pulling in serious cash. With the market price temporarily high and raw material costs low, he is earning huge, abnormal profits. In an open economy, high profit acts as a blazing signal flare. It catches the attention of rival traders and venture capital looking for a high return. Because of those low barriers to entry we covered earlier, there is nothing stopping a massive fleet of eager new competitors from warping in to flood the market and steal a slice of the profits. The short-term pursuit of abnormal profit organically triggers the exact mechanism that will destroy it. On the macro graph, the massive influx of ships pushes the total market supply curve right. This shift forces the equilibrium price to plummet, dragging the individual firm's horizontal demand curve straight down with it. All of those abnormal profits vanish. In the long run, the firms are left earning only normal profit, just enough revenue to cover their opportunity costs and keep the ships flying, but without any excess wealth. This long-run shift is heavily tested. The Mark scheme awards specific points for explaining that competitive markets naturally drive down prices, increase consumer sovereignty, and lower overall firm profits compared to monopolies. In a perfectly competitive market, the firms do all the exhausting work to barely stay afloat, but the consumer reaps the rewards.